nga munumba kuncho bawuna bana bakubigere bavwala engoye bajja bakola tibakaja akola batyaimeka ni bakazibwa okumalena ku 42 wabona keneka abandi betamirwayo bali kubalingira abana balira maziga baba twenda kyakulya omukazi yasigala emmere tuza kyakulya leo titufumbye amaka agandi gafire n'okufa lwakubanga embeera kaye nga ebyokulya bizirawo okusinziira ku Ramadhan gobi Ramadhan ono lecturer oba musomesa ku itendeko lya Makerere University ate yasoma ebyenfuna an economist akoba nti embeera yetulimu saadi no bya buli muntu kwesitukiramu ayenga bakulemberwamu abagezi mukulengeregala mu byenfuna oyo nigwe beta Emmanuel Ramadhan ngobi ononi musomesa ku Makerere University wabula yetegereza byanfuna yabera ali kuandika alipoota ye ng'agezaako okutangaza ensi bweri mu mbeera ne yesesebwa omukambwe ng'akoba nti ekituuse buti kyetagisa abantu abalengere wala ng'olowooza okuswika enviirido okubona ensi nga geetuuse mu byenfuna yakoba nti kyetagisa buti buli Munnayuganda okuba ng'ayongera amaanyi mu bintu ebiyinza okuba n'essente olwaido olwaduuzi n'omwaka ogwida okuleka emere ya leero oba no population oba abantu abannayuganda bali mu bukairo buswika 44 bukairo buna 44 oba kewetegerezeza Matiya Kaseja bwe yali asoma ono ni minisita w'ebyenfuna ng'asoma embalirira ey'omwaka guno gwe tuli kumala gwe tulifundikira 2019 2020 yakoba nti mu Uganda abantu abasobola okubaako n'akasente yaterekaku bali 32% 32 ku buli 100 enkaaga n'omunaana babaawo bube lwa Katonda bwafuna ekyokulya bafunye ekyokulya oyo ni Kaseja minisita w'ebyenfuna mu Uganda n'okuteekerateekera iwanga ngali kuba mwaka oguwere wakabita emyezi 8 bukyanga akyogera kitegeeza ki nti saawa dino emyezi 9 kitegeeza ki nti saawa dino bwabanga mu Uganda abantu bali 32 yeyogerera budget oba embalire y'omwaka 2019-2020 nti abantu 32 abasobola okubaako ne sente bwakoba nendagulayo ku polota ey'eitaka asobola ogigula yabaako nedagako abako nedagako ekiriwo ndijaba nkutwala buterevu ye president Kaguta Museveni ng'agezaako okwogera ewanga ku lunaku luno olw'abakozi lwandyese lebadde agezeeku otukubira tochi mu biki gavumenti byeteekereteekere abantu baayo idukirani embeera eri tinkalamu abakozi balika kankutwala buterevu ye president Kaguta Museveni oli ku Baba TV.
Thank you. I request that you remain standing for a word of prayer from Mr. Wilson Ashawere, who is the Chairman General of the National Organization of Trade Unions, NOTU. He will also sing one stanza of the Workers' Anthem before the prayer. Mr. Were, you're welcome.
Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. Wafanyakazi wote tujiunge pamoja, wafanyakazi wote tujiunge pamoja, wafanyakazi wote tujiunge pamoja, tujitenge hatari. Haya haya tujiunge, haya haya tujiunge, haya haya tujiunge, tujitenge hatari. Let's humble ourselves and pray. God, we thank you so much for the life that you have given us, for the good leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for the wisdom you have given him, for all his team, the ministers, the members of parliament, and all other team members. I pray for the workers of this country, that, Lord, we pray that you keep us alive, and we thank you for the good leadership of His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni, who has led us into this war, and we are seeing ourselves coming out of this war. Lord, we thank you. We thank the workers of this country. We thank the frontline workers who are now fighting the COVID. We thank you for the healing hands that you have extended to this country, that our country must be free of coronavirus. Lord, we pray for other East African leaders. Give them wisdom like you have given to our President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has seen the importance of rallying the whole country against coronavirus. Lord, we pray for Kenya, we pray for Tanzania, we pray for Rwanda, Burundi, and Southern Sudan, because we may be free of coronavirus, but our neighbors are still not okay. Lord, we thank you for everything. I pray for all the leaders in this country. Give them wisdom. I pray for the workers. I pray for the employers that, Lord, soften their now trying to lay off workers. Lord, let us first finish the war on coronavirus, then we think about economic recovery. All I pray in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Were, for that very touching prayer. Your Excellency, once again, we welcome you to this scientific celebration of the International Labour Day. Whereas the room has a handful of invited guests, Your Excellency, millions of Ugandans are following proceedings on their TVs and radios and online platforms. I wanted to just use this opportunity to thank the media for relaying this address live and for supporting all our other activities. Your Excellency, at this juncture, allow me to invite the Honorable Minister for Gender, Labor and Social Development, Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, who will recognize the guests present and make his remarks. Thereafter, he will invite you, Your Excellency, to address the country. You're most welcome, Honorable Tumwebaze.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, colleague, honorable ministers, Her Excellency Rosa Marango, the coordinator of the UN in Uganda, the honorable members of parliament, the leaders of the workers, the chairperson of the Federation of Ugandan Employers, ladies and gentlemen, and the entire fellow workers and citizens online. I thank you, Your Excellency, and welcome you to this, to use your word, scientific celebration and observance of the Labor Day. I thank you for deeming it fit to have it on your program to come and give a televised address to the country, and particularly to the workers in whose honor this day is celebrated. I want to thank the leadership of the workers, the leadership of employers. Your Excellency, we operate a body called a tripartite. It is composed of government, represented by the Ministry of Gender. It is composed of the workers' unions. It is composed of the employers through their federation. We sat and agreed that we have no choice but to take heed of the guidelines in place. And they all agreed unanimously that in the circumstances we cannot have the Labor Day celebrations as had always been the norm. The day was to be celebrated in Mbarara. Allow me at this point to pass on our apologies to the leadership of Mbarara District. I know you had put in a lot in the preparations, but in the circumstances, you all have to agree that this is the best we can do. Excellency, with you here, I have ministers, Honorable Minister for the Presidency, Honorable Mbayo, Honorable for Public Service, Mukasa, and his colleague, Honorable Karubanga. I have my colleague, Honorable Kutana. I have the honorable members of the workers in Parliament. I request your colleagues to stand up and wave to the President. Okay, one of them is not here. We have Her Excellency Rosa Marango, representing our social partners, the UN family, with whom we are having a lot of partnerships. And we have the chairperson of the Ugandan Federation of Employers, Engineer Silva Mujisha, and we have our acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Gender, Mr. James Ebitu. Your Excellency, before I invite you, allow me to make a very few remarks to let you know that last week we had a meeting with the tripartite, and we agreed on a few advisory guidelines which we were able to communicate to the country in as far as mitigating the likely consequences of the pandemic on the worker-employer relationship. First, we all observed that the pandemic has affected parties in equal measure. It has affected the employers, it has affected the employees. So we guided that the dialogue should be the best way to manage the relationship. We asked the employers and the employees to sit on table and discuss on how to relate in the circumstances. For example, some workers could take leave if authority had accumulated. Some could take unpaid leave if the company is not able to raise the revenues. Some could work at home and deliver outputs through digital means as a way of reducing crowding. Appealed to the sectors that you talked about and which are not so much affected by the pandemic to enroll more workers, because if you are engaging another production line in a factory, you will employ more people. So we noted the positive line of the pandemic on the other hand. We encouraged employers, where it becomes inevitable that they must lay off workers, they should follow the law. The Employment Act and the attendant regulations are elaborate, but also they should consider, because if you lay off the workers in accordance with the law, it goes with severance packages, it goes with terminal benefits. So we told them that since this situation is temporary, as we all envisage and hope, a discussion that gives each of them a win-win would help. And I hope many other companies are taking that line. The other effects of no pay, of half pay for Apple, notwithstanding. Your Excellency, You may have heard in the media and on social media a lot of debate. Many people calling upon the NSSF to do something with their benefits. NSSF cannot, of course, do anything that is outside the law. And I would like to inform you, the country, that Cabinet already discussed the possible amendments to the NSSF Act. The workers had their input as well. And the NSSF amendment bill is before Parliament. It seeks to widen the benefits, employment benefit, unemployment benefits, and others, medical, and it also provides for mid-term access of the benefits. But of course, that's proposed without compromising the principle of social security, because some people would want to turn a social security fund into an emergency fund. That would compromise heavily the international principle of social security. So people who have been calling upon NSSF to act, NSSF cannot act outside the law. We hope Parliament will discuss the bill, and the members of the public or stakeholders with special interest could go to Parliament and present their views. At the end of the day, we want a law that is for the workers, but at the same time, following and still upholding the principles of social security as we know them internationally. Your Excellency, allow me to also make a comment on behalf of our social partners, the UN family, of which I'm very grateful. We've observed an increment in cases of domestic violence, especially violence against women, especially violence against children. In less than a month alone, we've had about 3,280 cases of domestic violence against police. Women and children are the most affected. We appeal to the citizens not to turn the home into an unsafe place, because we are saying stay home, you need to stay home safe. Once again, I'm appealing to the frontline security agencies. Do not take domestic violence as a normal family issue. It's a criminal offense. Make sure the perpetrators are called out and punished in accordance with the law. Your Excellency, as I conclude, I want to thank our health workers, as you have always said in your addresses, for standing out and being patriotic enough to do all the work in the face of this pandemic. Even those not directly involved in the treatment and management of COVID cases are too vulnerable because they interact with other patients, but they are able to put up a good fight. So we thank you and we celebrate you on this day. Those of you that had been listed to receive medals, please know we will carry forward your opportunity. You will be given the medals when the situation allows us to have gatherings a year or so ahead. Finally, Your Excellency, on behalf of the workers' leaders who are here, they've asked me to request you for a social distance meeting at the time of your convenience, such that they can discuss with you many other issues concerning their constituency. Thank you, Your Excellency, and I take this opportunity to invite you to give your address. Thank you.
Countrymen and countrywomen and the workers, I wish to extend to you on reaching this day by day. Although the circumstances are slightly different, but at least we are there. We are there. As you know, we have been fighting this virus, and as I said in my addresses, we seem to be doing well. Up to now, we have got 83 cases of positive people detected in Uganda. 53 are Ugandans, 30 are non-Ugandans. East Africa, from Kenya and from Tanzania, and 2 from Burundi, and a Canadian, some Chinese, and some Indians, or an Indian. Nobody has died from the corona. Even the ones who had been sick, the majority of them have been discharged from the hospital in Entebbe, the hospital in Mulago, Masaka, Ajumani, and Hoima. The others who are not yet discharged, there was a rumor that a Kenyan driver who died in Gulu he had other issues. He was tested, he was negative for corona. So nobody has died from corona here in Uganda yet. However, today is the day of labor. It is not the day of corona. Corona, we shall talk about it early next week, because I will be briefing you. The onset of corona has challenged leaders in the world. Leaders normally like to lead when things are easy. However, when things are difficult, then we can. So there's been a lot of panic because of this virus, and this virus actually has shaken up the whole world. It has shaken up the whole world, and there's been a lot of panic. However, I'm not part of that panic. I'm not part of it, and I'm not pessimistic in any way. There are those who are very pessimistic, things are going to collapse, I don't know what. I don't believe that. I'm not part of that, and I'm glad. That's why I'm not reading the prepared speech. There was a prepared speech, which was, so I said, no, I've got my head on my shoulders. I will talk to the workers myself, not relay what other people think, but what I think. Now, the big challenge we have is now not only the health, which we are struggling with, but the economy, and that's where workers come in. Now, what the NRM has believed for a long time, right from the 1960s, is that there are really two types of economies. There is what I would call real economy. Economy for survival and for livelihood. The economy that people need in order to survive and to live a good life. This is one type of economy. Then there is the economy of pleasure and leisure. If I was to put it in Nyankwere, I would say there is the economy of okubaho, to survive, and the economy of omwiguto, when you are satisfied and you want to have pleasure. Now, the big mistake of some of our actors here in Uganda, for sure, maybe in other parts of the world, has been not to understand this, to understand that there is the economy for real survival and livelihood, and the economy for leisure. Now, the economy, real economy for livelihood and survival has 9 sectors. Sector 1, food. Food. To produce food and process it. So all those activities involved in food production, in transporting it, in processing it, are very crucial for the survival of human beings. The second sector is clothing. Clothing. Because here you are trying to deal with the basic human needs, the fundamental human needs. Once you deal with food, the next need you need to deal with is clothing. Because they need clothes. The third need is shelter. Shelter, where to be. A house where to live. The fourth one is medicine. Medicine. If I am sick, how do I get treated? The fifth one is defense, security. The spears, the arrows, the shields, which our people used to use to protect themselves. But of course today we are talking about new types of spears, new types of, we're not talking about the other old ones. So these 5 are the basic human needs. Food, clothing, shelter, medicine, and security. But you can't get these 5 unless you do something else. That's what gives you the 6th sector. And this is infrastructure. How will you process food if you don't have electricity? How will you transport it if you don't have roads and you don't have the railway? How will you have factories if you don't have pipe to water? Because you need pipe to water to. Somewhere near Kajuriga, where I would call people there would work. We shout through the phones. That's how we talk. That's how we communicate. So that is the 6th sector, which is very crucial. The 6th need, the utilities that enable the other sectors to operate. As the need number, but you can have medicine, but you don't have the infrastructure to dispense it. So the infrastructure of health, work of how you, the employees, you need the personnel to deal with health, and you need the network to deal with health. So that is crucial area number 7. Number 8 is education. Because to do all the other things, to grow the food, to process it, you the ability to read and write, to be highly knowledgeable. But originally I had thought about this 8, but later on, when I interacted with other people, they pointed out something different, something additional. They said, but how do you deal with corruption? Spiritual. To people, and they know that they are not only accountable to man here, but they are accountable to God. So this is need number 9. Food, clothing, shelter, medicine, security, infrastructure, education, health network, and spirituality. If you have these, you can survive and even thrive. Now, the problem, but which the other economy? The other economy which people are crying about now is the economy of pleasure and leisure. One of my daughters had abandoned me with my cows and gone into tourism in winter there with the Bafumbira. This is a new activity for the Basita, for my clan, not to be in cows or crops, and you go to take people to see wild animals. This is new, but if it can bring some money, all right. But if it can't, I'm not worried, I go back to my cows. So therefore, some of these sectors like tourism, like hotels, like entertainment, bars, even sports. You know, I'm a sportsman, but if the football matches are cancelled, I will not die. I will wait until they come. Music, dancing. These are really economies of leisure. Now, the good fortune, and that's why I want you all to focus, is that the other type of economy, the real economy, the economy of survival and livelihood, is not so vulnerable, is not so sensitive. Because the other economies, tourism, one incident of a terrorist throwing a bomb, the terrorists cancel. So there's a danger of terrorism. Sometimes the governments, especially the Western governments, are fond of undermining our economies. They give advisory. We think it is not safe to go to Uganda. Then the cancelling is bookings are cancelled. And as you have seen, with this virus now, travel became impossible, became a source of danger, and people had to. Even if we had not banned the travel, I'm sure people themselves were going to stop traveling by themselves because they were afraid. They were afraid. So, while the real economy, but for food, whether there is war, whether there is an epidemic, food will be needed. And sometimes it will be needed even more than when you had no problem. So therefore, Ugandans, I would like to reorient your thinking. And that's what I've been telling the ministers. If you look at these sectors, there's a lot of money which we have been either not getting or we have been losing to the outside. And jobs. If you start with the food sector and you are to look at the imports of Uganda, Uganda is still importing animal feeds. Why should Uganda import animal feeds? Animal feeds are from chachu. Chachu is from maize. We have a lot of maize. We don't know where to sell it. The other time the prices had to collapse, but yet we are importing animal feeds. So let that gap be finished. No more importing of animal feeds. Let our private sector, assisted by the UDB, Uganda Development Bank, go into that area and make sure no importation of animal feeds. How much money will that save us? And how many jobs will it create? This is what I'm challenging you now to analyze. Then you come to sugar. We have been having a surplus of sugar. The Basoga we are crying with ebikado. Ebikado bingi kamara biriyeyo ebusoga. Ebikado bitiyeime. The sugar canes are there. But then when you look at the import figures of Uganda, Uganda is importing sugar, what they call industrial grade sugar. This is the sugar for putting in Coca-Cola. Uganda, East Africa don't make sugar for putting in Coca-Cola. The only sugar they are making is this one of Kachai. And when I looked at the figures, that was taking like $30 million from our foreign exchange. And it's going to buy the more refined sugar, which is used in Coca-Cola. We have got a factory of medicines at Rizira called Cipra, the chemicals. They use sugar, what they call pharmaceutical grade sugar, the one which can be used in some of the medicines like the syrups for children medicine need sugar, but that sugar is not here. They must import it from India and from China. And that's why the tablets are still expensive, because they are importing that industrial pharmaceutical grade sugar from outside. So, on the side of food, there's a lot of potential for growing more food and processing it and consuming, import substitution, but also export to other countries. Like, for instance, the milk. The Banyankore had started interfering with my work. The other time I went there and I found, oh, milk. I said, what are you saying about milk? Amategato. You are milk. They were quarreling with my Indians. The Indians I brought from I don't know where. I brought them. They were quarreling with them. So why do you quarrel with my Indians without telling me first? You don't know the problems of this world. Tuba tukyali awo, when we were still there, because of the milk we have encouraged to increase. There's so much milk now. Milk had gone from 200 million liters a year to 2.6 billion. Oh, when the rains came, import our milk because they had more milk. And the milk was threatening to have no market. But fortunately, one of my Indians whom I had brought, for him, he was not processing milk for drinking, either as fresh milk or as liquid milk, not even as powdered milk. For him, he was getting a protein called casein out of milk, which they use for baby foods, for food supplements, for medicine. So that man is taking much of the milk now. It's going to the US. You look at cassava and even maize. Some of the things you put in the medicines, like the tablets, is what they call industrial grade starch. Starch which can be used in making tablets. That is from cassava. So, if you go on the subject of food, I have written a document here. There is an endless list of what you can do with food in terms of industry, which can bring in more money and create jobs. Then you go now to clothing. We are importing clothes, big number of clothes. Even these curtains here, these were imported from China. If you look at what the honorable people here are wearing, these are all market of imports, except myself. Except for the trousers, but I couldn't come here without trousers. So. But for the shirt, at least I'm not part of the group. If you look at the figures for the imports, it's quite a lot of money for clothes. And then all the other things, the hospital linen, what have you. So, let us stop imports of clothes, support import substitution, and also exports in Africa. The global demand for clothes is very huge. I think it's like $900 billion or something like that. They are all in my document here. So from the clothes, you go to the shelter. I think the shelter we are doing well already. We are already making our own cement. We are not importing cement anymore, which is good. We make some mitayimbwa. The other time I went to Moroto to open a marbles factory, a big marbles factory. But there are still some types of mitayimbwa which you cannot use, you cannot make using recycled steel, because we are still using scrap metal to make mitayimbwa. These dams and the big houses like this one will not accept that steel. So we are going to develop our steel industry from Obutare, from the iron ore, to be able to make fresh steel. But also not only do that, but alloy it, mix it with other minerals, which are now being squandered, being exported, nickel, we have them here, but people are not using them. So that sector will create a lot of jobs. Then you go to medicine. We are importing a lot of the medicine, tablets, what have you, injectables, vaccines. This is a lot of money and jobs, and we are going to make them here. We are going to support groups like Quality Chemicals, like this one, which they are using for the corona, hydroxychloroquine. I spoke with the Prime Minister of India. He's going to send us some of those tablets, but also send us raw materials to make our own hydroxychloroquine here. Even the vaccines, the injectables, not only for human beings, but even for livestock, veterinary, we are going to make them here. Defense weapons we have already started, but we are going to expand to rely on ourselves in making for our defense. Because this is the part of the artificiality of the African economies. How can you have a country which cannot defend itself? Our ancestors were making spears themselves. They were not importing spears, they were not importing arrows. But here, everything is imported. What sort of people are we? And those are jobs. We spend a lot of money. A lot of money importing this, importing that, importing, for security. Even these cameras we put there to watch the people who are doing bad things, they were imported. Why can't we make them here? The cameras, on the roads, the anti-riot equipment, all those things we need. We are going to make sure that we double our efforts. Now, in order to do all that, I have already told you, you need the infrastructure, the electricity, the roads, the railway. That one we are doing well. And that's why I am sure that it is easy for us to reorient the economy. Then education, I think education we are doing well. The only lacking thing is the skills, to have more skills, And you members of parliament support my policy of paying the scientists well first. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, the rest will be added unto you. Pay the scientists well first. Because the scientists are the ones, when we had corona, the doctors are the ones on the front line. I have not seen any administrator there. In the world of corona, I have not seen any administrator or a clerk or I have not seen. I see my young doctors, my young nurses, they are the ones on the front line. When we had the problem of the dam being attacked by the floating island, the engineers are the ones I found there. Maybe the other group who were there were the rumor mongers, the pressmen. For them, they were not adding anything. Just see whether the dam breaks or doesn't break. That's all. But what are you contributing? I'm not contributing anything. I'm here to say what has happened. Is that really the solution? So my engineers struggled until they solved that problem. The locusts in Karamoja, they are the army, are the one who did most of the work. So really, if you want your country to stabilize, really all of you, before you start this one, please, let's first stabilize our scientists. These people can do so many things. You have seen what they have done with the corona. You look at all those, you don't see a single foreigner among them. They are our people. This gives me a lot of happiness because I know what the situation was in 1961 when I went to Tuntare for the first time. There were 40 teachers there, only 2 were Africans. All the rest were whites. But when now I see the whole hospital of Uganda, the dams, it's very good, but we are mishandling our scientists. This must stop. It must stop. The scientists must be paid first. And I'm tired of begging people. The other time, even in my own caucus, I brought a proposal to pay the science teachers better in the schools. Then one of my young people came, no, we are all teachers. We are all teachers. Well, but when the dam was going to break, I didn't see you going to read Shakespeare to the dam. Why didn't you take Shakespeare and you read to the dam? We looked for scientists. So this one, the Wanyankore say, when people are drunk, they say, but when you are sober, you discover that the other mind is much better than you. So please, this Tuingane, I don't support. Let's pay. It's really undermined. These scientists can solve so many problems. They are so knowledgeable, but they are not concentrated. They're running here to support their children to do this. Nevertheless, they still, some of them have private clinics. That's why they have private clinics. These doctors. If we pay them well and says nobody should have double royalty to have a private clinic, and then you will have a very high quality medical service. So, with the number 6, I want us to solve that issue. You, the people who are involved. Now the others are clear. So, once we handle these 9, we shall have a bigger economy than what we have been having. Yes, we have lost tourism. Tourism was from here I see that the agriculture, forestry and fisheries, 3 million people are working there. In manufacturing, 700,000. In trade, 2 million. Those can remain there, but they should now, instead of importing, they should distribute. I don't mind you trading. I don't mind you, but distribute ours. So we don't have to say that once we lose imports, that these will lose jobs. No, they will just reorient their activities, distribute our things, and also export. You can be a trader by exporting. Why are you only a trader by importing? So I don't think that these ones are in trouble. Hotels, restaurants, and bars, those were employing 300,000, 321,000, 386,000. So you can see that the big sectors are still there. Agriculture is still there. Manufacturing is still there. And once we consolidate them and expand them, the other groups, the other sector, the other economies will come back after the situation in the world stabilizes. I was looking at the figures. In 1994, our economy grew by 11%. That was the highest rate of growth. That's when we had just stabilized the economy, and we had opened the Owen Falls Dam, we had upgraded it. So the economy grew by 11%. When I looked on tourism, the tourists in Uganda were only 147,000, very, very small. So the economy was growing. It was a very high rate, although tourism was still down because Uganda didn't have yet a good reputation. So therefore, I don't share this pessimism of, yes, some sectors have suffered, but there are sectors where we can do much better. Who will do what? The government will do its small part, even in terms of manufacturing. The government gave my office some small money for manufacturing, and I told Nachobe to solve some issues systematically. The one we are going to start with is leather. Ugandans have been importing. We have 14 million cows, 14 million sheep, goats, I don't know how many sheep, but we have been importing shoes, importing handbags of our daughters, importing all leather. So I told the Nachobe, solve the problem of leather. Some of our young people are making shoes because we encouraged them. We even trained them at Colorado. Imported leather from I don't know where. There's no leather here. Uganda, the land of Balunzi, Umukovasoba, Akova, Ntivazira Amaliva. Are they called Amaliva? Skins. What do you call skins? Empu, that's real Nyankore, ancient Nyankore. You know, there was so to speak, old Nyankore, Amau. So we who are cattle keepers, Tuzira Amahu products. What sort of? So I've told Nature to solve the issue of leather, and she has imported machines. We're going to put them somewhere and process leather so that that issue of leather is solved. I am working with Bishop Odama, Archbishop Odama, on the issue of starch. We are going to use cassava in northern Uganda to resolve the issue of starch. Starch for factories, starch for medicine, starch for... The other Indians of ours, of Buyukwe, of Mayuge, those Mayuge Indians who are also in Buyukwe, we have agreed that they solve the issue of the industrial grade sugar. They should produce it. And then they should produce also. So, we are going to systematically say, to to allocate responsibilities that you solve this one, solve that one. Some will be done by the government using UDC. Many will be done by the private sector. And the private sector have responded. You have seen how they have made the sanitizers. Sanitizers were a problem when this virus started. There was only one factory in Jinja, owned by Japanese, making sanitizers in the whole of East Africa. The Kenyans were buying from here. Then some of our people wanted to say, well, no, we need the sanitizers, don't export. I said, I don't want to hear that language. I'm a person of God. I don't believe in selfishness. You cannot hear people dying. You say, the little which is there is only mine. Ugenda mugeyena, nzisagala ugenda mugeyena. Abagala ugenda mugeyena mbasibu nete muntwala. Don't take me there. So I said, I will not allow the little which is there, which are shared. And in no time, my warrage makers, the ones who are making warrage for killing you fellows, they all shifted to making now sanitizers. Because warrage is a small sanitizer. It is alcohol, apparently 30% or something like that. Now, if you boil it more, it goes to 70%, then it becomes a sanitizer. So the warrage which was killing our people now has found a new job to kill the virus. That one is taking off, that industry. Then the masks. Very soon we may require many people to put on masks. Nighty is already making them. And Fine Spinners is making them. Yuri, Dr. Kwesiga, is going to make them also. So, gloves, these protective, these clothes for hospital. By giving jobs, we are going to change the economy of Uganda from being an economy of dependency interest. So therefore, on this Labor Day, I want to cheer you up. Don't listen to those people who are talking doom. Things are going to collapse. I don't know what. Yes, they may collapse elsewhere, but not here. Why? Because here we have got a strong base. We have got a very strong base, but people don't know it because they behave artificially. Now, on the small issues of workers in this crisis, my advice would be this business of laying off workers is not a good idea. Things are going to improve tomorrow. So why do you lay off? Why don't you? They don't even weigh the words. Because they hear people in Europe are laying off, they also lay off. If the Europeans sleep on the road, you're also going to sleep on the road. That language of laying off, why don't you say, you go home briefly for this month, I don't have money to pay you, because I have not worked, you've seen me, I've been here. That's reasonable. You go home, when we resume, I will call you. Your own workers, if you have been satisfied with them, why do you lay them off? Why don't you say, send them on leave? You may not even have the money to pay them. They will understand. Because they have seen that you have not worked. Why do we use the language of laying off? Why not send on leave until the situation clears? But if you follow my plan, which is all in my other documents, I will give you copies. This economy will grow much bigger. Sectors the fair weather sectors. Because this one, the sectors I'm talking about, food, clothing, shelter, these are all weather sectors. As long as people are there. Even when there's war, they will be there. The other sectors which you are worried about are fair weather sectors. They come when the weather is fair. When it is not so fair, they go away. So I congratulate you, and I can assure you that even the fair weather sectors will come back. Because I think during this crisis, I have seen that Uganda may be safer than many parts of the world. And you fellows who like to travel. Me, I only travel when I have no alternative. Atenjagala kufira yeyo bwengenda yo shoni what Katonda yanzija yo. Otherwise, for me, when I get a little time, Rachtura, because I've never seen any part of the world which is better than Uganda. I have never seen it. Byemunonye weru sibimanyi mpozi mwe mulina amaso agatali gange. So I suspect if God gets us through this crisis, even these opportunistic sectors, these ones of tourism, the fair weather sectors may rush here because people have been watching. But the place seems to be stable, seems to be secure. Some of my people rang me from London the other time before the closure. They were, please, get me from London. There are some of my people whom I had to get from those and bring them here. So actually those sectors, the fair weather sectors may rush in. Including the medical, because the reputation of the medical of your people has gone up. You see those young people discharging all these sick people who are sick, no death. I think even the other sectors will come back. But let's concentrate on this one. And sensitize the workers. Tell them that if you have been in tourism, if it has had a problem, why don't you look at these other new sectors which are coming? Yeah. Even work out plans of skilling. We can see how to skilling these technical schools. So, with these few words, I congratulate all the workers of Uganda and all the Ugandans. Next week, I'll be talking about the way forward as far as the lockdown is concerned. Thank you very much. I wish you good luck.
Thank you, Excellency. Let's get standing for the anthems and then we depart. Thank you. Remain standing as His Excellency departs. No, I'm saying the guests will remain standing as you find you well. Thank you, Excellency.
Oyoabeere Pulezidenti ow'eggwanga Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ng'agezaako okwogera eri Abannayuganda ku lunaku luno olukulu olw'abakozi lwandyese olwa Lebadde. Ali kubanga mu maka agobwa Pulezidenti wale Entebbe naye ng'ali kubitanga ku mitimbagano egy'ebempurizaganya gezanga televised omuli Baba Tv edini kotali n'emikutu egy'amaladiyo emikutu gimugaita bantu n'egindi kamaalo okutangaza ewanga ku lunaku luno nga Uganda yegaise ku nsi yonna yonna okuza olunaku olw'abakozi. Olwaleero luno iweni alukuziza nga lwa byandawulo nti tubairendibwa ku mikutu kubanga nga bwenkobye tuli mu kaire ak'ekirwaire ekyayiseeseba omukambwe abantu abaikiriza kutambula okubona nga baba mu kifo ekyana okwekunganya butya nga bagezanga okudaguza emyaka n'emikuzo egyo egibise. Pulezidenti olwaleero abiseni ku mitimbagano wabulaani akonyeku ku nsonga kamala denenzeni okumuuniramuniramu mu kaire kampegati wenaani oinokoke ku bikindi pulezidenti byalonsiisa ku butya bwe bayinzaani okumalawo n'okutangiraani eibula mirimo okubona ke bongeramu amaanyi ebyenfuna ye kyasinze kukoba okusookaako bye nti Abannayuganda bangi bali kufunanga amawulire agabatiisa nti ebyenfuna bya Uganda bijagwa nti Uganda abandi balikoba ebyenfuna bigwire Uganda bigwira ngulu mu byenfuna kubanga coronavirus akawuka ako kali kubonanga no koninga ngani erigwa kufukamira fucking president yakobye nti ebigambo eby'abantu mu bivweku yenga yetatyangaku tatiitiranga kutibu kyanga kulala nti ali kutya akobe nti amanga agandi gaida kugwa ebyenfuna ebyamanga ebindi bida kugwa aye Uganda idasigala ke kalimu embavu era nge kalimu amagumba agemerera okubona ke ebyenfuna biwangalawo wabula anokweireyo ensonga mwendani mulambirira desobola okubona ke disobola otembesa ense nakobye nti nga tunasobola okubona ke tuwangalawo tulina okuba n'emmere ateni bwetunaba nga tubalina emmere tulina okuvaala bwe tuba tumaze okuvaala tulina okuba tulina we tutenduka kiwandeese nti kyeruta katini yakuba nti era tulina okufuna obulezi okuva ku ebyo nga tumaze okufuna obulezi tulina okuba nga tulina ebyokwerinda ebitebenkevu ebyenguudo makolo n'ebintu ebindi byonna tulina okuba nabyo ebyobulamu ebyamaanyi birina okubaawo aleeni awo twamala twaba nebyeesa era pulezidenti akobye nti ekisinga kuba kibi Abannayuganda abandi emmere bagitoola kuliya kiwandyese imports nti abantu abandi mu Uganda era Uganda ekaali n'ebiseera ebitoola ebintu kuliya yebuziza n'okwebuuza nti buti bwe tubanga tuli kwenda kufuna emmere ya bisolo era kino akitaire kwina isira emmere ey'ebisolo gezanga nte mbuzi buduuyu n'ebintu ebindi ebisolo lwaki emmere mu gino nakuliya ng'ebikado birimu n'ebingi dukira eri emmere yebatoola mu mawanga gezanga Germany aye ng'ate okunonenkeza kulaga nti bwobaka ebikado bino amakola g'ebikado n'ebintu ebindi ebikolo babyongeramu ebirungo byavaamu emmere ey'ebisolo yaka nti lwaki emmere eva kuliya nga ife tusobola beene okufuna emmere twagyekolera wano mu Uganda era akobe nti bwelunaku lw'abakozi amakolero agakola emmere ey'ebisolo kitegeeza nti abantu olijja bawa emirimu okusinga kayiri okwonoona esente nga tugula bugula emmere nda wa Uganda ey'ebisolo era ni pulezidenti ayongera naku yakoba nti ku kintu ekya engoye detunoona kuliya engoye omuntu yafuna emivumba nga giri kuva mu mawanga nga China Japan lwaki emmere eva kuliya pulezidenti yakobye nti engoye diva kuliya nti balina okuba amakolero agakola engoye era ageze nti ebintu gezanga engoye Uganda yandirekeire kangi yandikanzaawo mu ngeri y'okunona ebintu kuliya kwa Uganda katube nga tuli basuubuzi kuba akobye nti ayikiriza eky'Abannayuganda okuba abasuubuzi aye abasuubuzi abayikunona ebintu kuliya kwa Uganda lwaki gano mu Uganda omuntu tabaawo nayikolero olikola ngoye akonyeku n'ekyokuwona ku bintu gezanga engaito yakobona okuba nti Uganda erina emiliyoni 14 edente erina emiliyoni 14 edentaama lwaki kabiri engoye engaito tuba tuditoola nda wa Uganda nga naakaire tusobole okubona nti tufuna engaito daife bene nga tudekoleire. President akobye ku kintu ekyo okukola obulezi. Yakoba nti mu Uganda muno tulina amakolero agafulumya sukaali gezanga Kinyala, gezanga Kakira. Aye sukaali gwe bafulumya sukaali ono eyandikoze sirapu eda abaana abato eda obulezi bw'abantu okunwa okulwala. Nti kali sukaali gwe bakola wa chai yenka. Nti amakolero gana agamaani ge tulina nga Kakira Sugar Works, Kinyala Uganda Limited n'amakolero agandi Mayuge Sugar gasandiika okola sukaali asobola okuteebwa mu makolero, asobola okuteebwa mu soda, asobola okuteebwa okukolamu amakerenda mu ngeri y'okubona nti Uganda ekendeeza ku muwendo ogw'esente desansaanya mu kugula ebintu bino, kubanga esente dogo disansaanako eningi nga dijja kugula sukaali gwe balijota mu soda. Kitegeeza ki nti expenditure oba okusansaanya kubitiriire kyakosa ensako n'ebyenfuna ebyewanga Uganda. Kukyabakozi akobye nti akaire kaunti kakusala ku bakozi. Kyetagisa okukogera n'abakozi bo nti muwumule muko omwezi mulala olwo kaliwogera ku makolero n'abantu abakozesa abakozi. Eikolero nga Kakira Sugar Works erina abakozi abasuika 7,500. Eikolero nga Tololo Cement erina abakozi abasuika 8. Nti tina akaire okubinga abakozi mu bakobe bawumule mu katono kubanga nga mwezi mulala myezi 2 tutulisobola abasasula. Aye tunaaba tuvuire mu mbeera yaisesebo mukambwe mwida kwira mukole kubanga omukozi ono alina okwongera kwa amaani mu kufulumya ebintu ebireetera sente eiwanga yena amakage gasobola okubaawo. Kale n'ebigambo bya President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ng'aligezaako okutangaza ensi yakoba nti Uganda esayina ebe ensi eyeetongoire twafuna obwetwazi mu 1962. Aye tubaye tukayemerera ku nsi diredi kuliya enda wa Uganda mu ngeri y'okufuna ebyenfuna nti naakaire tube n'ebyenfuna ebyaife nga twetenga okola ikolero mu bya makolero agafulumya obulezi, amakolero agafulumya engoye n'ebintu ebindi kamala ensi etebenkera. Alikuira sasire alikuida okubona nga atangaza ku mbeera yaisesebo mukambwe na ku abi n'endala edibuza kwena ko bwina donka disobole okufundikira. Ndi omulamu tubone amakonde ku musanvu nga bwe galijo kubanize mati ya Kigazi nkofuta vaawo.
Enoni Baba TV obusoga bulaire.
Nile Plastics eikolero eryaganibwa mu Idinda Njeru Town tulina ebyuma eby'omulembe ebyeyambisibwa okufulumya ebintu eby'omumaka bino nga biri ku mutindo gw'ensi yona yona. Ebintu byaife bya plastic bikozesebwa okwambako mu kugonza obulamu n'okuba nga bweyagaza eri abantu boona boona wano mu Iwanga ne Kuliya olw'omutindo n'emboneka ey'endawulo omuli eby'omu ifumbiro nkani